You think
We're gonna get canceled.
Hey, why are you guys making fun of the special ed?
It's mentally spectacular, people.
Yeah, come on now.
Come on.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Anyways, welcome guys to another episode of K.A.B.S. I'm Kevin.
I'm Octavius.
And today, well, first off, we want to say thank you for those that have tuned in to our first episode. I think we have 50 plus.
Yeah, 50 plus views.
50 plus views, which is actually very exciting because my very first episode of my other podcast didn't even have that many. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate the support.
Mm-hmm.
Those that have commented, thank you as well. We've replied. Again, if you guys have other questions that you actually want to put in there, feel free. We'd love to, we're trying to grow a community here.
No, 100%. We do want to grow with everybody. It's a journey that we want to have you guys be a part of. I did look it up. Currently, it is at 56 views so far. So thanks for that. And our most recent video, which came out earlier today, which we'll go ahead and put down in the link in the bottom, currently is at 9 views, but we would love the support for that as well. We want to keep this thing going, keep the ball rolling.
Damn right. Damn Skippy.
Yes, sir. Skippy.
Anyways, today's topic is letting go. A lot of us can relate, and let it go, let it go.
Let it go, let it go.
I don't know the song.
I don't either.
Even though I have a sister who used to listen to it all the time. It was annoying.
It's fun fact or not fun fact. I've never seen Frozen.
Really?
Yeah.
So I watched parts of it, never all the way through. Not even number 2. I don't even know what number 2 is about.
The closest I've come to watching Frozen is playing Mortal Kombat using Sub-Zero. Or Frost, because she's female, so Elsa. So,
There you go.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the closest.
Yes. Okay. I you guys know.
Yeah.
You know.
For those who know, you know.
There's only one reason we play Mortal Kombat.
There's only one reason.
Yep.
Might be Melina.
Yeah. Yes. You read my mind.
And Scorpion.
And Scorpion.
Yeah, Scorpion is that guy. But no, like Kevin said, the topic for today is going to be letting go. I guess we have a short video that we could start with, and we can play that. It's just a short.
So watch this.
Found a quote the other day. It said, "Time heals nothing unless you move along with it." And I thought, well, that makes perfect sense. Right? You can't pursue a new reality, a new world, unless you can detach and depart from the current one.
Right. So I agree. I 100% agree.
Honestly, I agree too.
Yeah.
If I could put this like some sort of sports analogy for those who play sports, I know I played. A lot of times people that watch hold on to the very last thing that you did, good or bad. Mm-hmm. But when you're actually in the moment, you have to forget that, because if you're a quarterback, you throw an interception. If you remember that interception, you're going to be skittish. You're probably going to think you're going to throw another. Mm-hmm. Just forget about it. Go out there and play. Do what you got to do. Of course, for this in life, if you can't really move forward unless you leave where you currently are or where you were. So I agree too.
I agree. Well, that brings us to the first question, which is, do you find it hard to let things go? Octavius?
I will say growing up, yes. Early on in childhood, no. Because I think kids kind of forget about things a lot.
Yeah.
I definitely come from a household where mom definitely believed in spare the rod, spoil the child. And even as an adult, it's like, yeah, that doesn't really bother me. But as I got older, middle school, high school, I started to kind of hold on to things at times. Mm-hmm. And I did find it was pretty difficult to let it go. Whether it be, especially friendships or friendships. I think that's a big one.
Kind of like how we talked in our last episode.
Exactly. That's something I think you can agree on. I think also relationships too. I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with, whether it's romantic or not. Even work, relationships can be pretty difficult.
I agree. Same, because like we said, the whole friendship part definitely really difficult to let go. Relationships, yes and no, because I only had maybe 1 or 2 semi-serious relationships before I met Karen. Mm-hmm. So it was difficult to let go when you first break up, obviously. but at the same time, man, I was young. So
Yeah.
was I really like not able to let go? Because we're all teenagers. And
Yeah.
even for me, from a personal standpoint, I was a little bit more, I guess, rebellious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I left home early, it was not in good terms with my mom.
Yeah.
So at first, I was like holding on to that, and to that like anger and for basically leaving.
Yeah.
But now it's I'm glad I let go, because now my relationship with my mom is I love my mom.
No, I understand. Yeah, I can see it too. I mean, it's fantastic, and very welcoming and embracing family. I mean, for those who don't know, like it's me and Kevin, we've known each other for 14 years
14
now.
years.
So honestly, like his family, I do kind of feel like they've pretty much adopted me, and I just still need to work on my Spanish. So
Yeah. 14 years.
look, it's
because I left.
if she's cute enough, my Spanish level increases.
There you go, guys.
But you remember, I mean, pretty much all of high school, I've been in a relationship of some sort, and regardless of which one, like, kind of got out of, it was initially was difficult to let go, especially when you do have good times. It's kind of hard to get past that and look towards new things, because sometimes I feel like with those good times, you then think of the negative that kind of came after and kind of what caused the rift, and that becomes difficult to let go of. But I will say, what's more difficult is letting go of friendships. Sometimes I think we hold on to friendships that really aren't friendships. They're pretty one-sided. They're really not worth it. There's a lot of stress, and it makes it very hard to kind of release it so that we can kind of move forward. I don't know if that's something that you've experienced, but I've definitely gone through that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I had my friend who 3-letter name friend. You remember him? We were really close. I got him a job, and then I got So
Yeah.
that was really hard, because like we were close. We'd hang out, come to the house all the time. Met my family, knew my grandmother, and then just one day to the next, just stopped.
Yeah.
And that hurt. And I still tried to reach out. I don't know for how long, maybe a couple months, almost up to a year. Never got any like response. So I get it. It was hard. And then I also felt like this type of anger towards it. And a part of me does, but then a part of me is like, again, we were young. I don't know what he was going through.
Right.
And, I wish him the best. I don't wish him any harm or anything wrong. I do wish him the best.
No, that's definitely fair. I can't say more so now. There's definitely been times where, I mean, we've had friendships. I mean, we're still friends now, but there's definitely been like rough patches where it's like, should this like be done with? Should I let this go? Should I won't say turn my back, but just keep moving forward. Which sucks, because sometimes when you do move forward, like if you grow out of things, as people say, people do feel betrayed, but it's not really a betrayal. I'm not really like trying to drop you. It's just I have other plans and aspirations I need to move towards. I know for you and 3-letter, friend, I know like I still don't. I don't even know what happened. I know when I ask you sometimes, like it's just out of the blue.
Yeah,
and I can understand the anger towards it, but you got to move forward.
Yeah. It's my wife Karen always says, if her way of thinking is if that person isn't bringing them and her any type of positivity, then she doesn't want them at all.
Right.
To me, it's a very drastic approach, but I understand where she's coming from.
It's pretty fair. That's pretty fair too, because it's true. Sometimes misery does love company. So there are times where people aren't happy. They're not in the space where they want to be. And instead of bringing positivity towards you, they just want to bring you into their, sadness or madness.
Yeah.
And it does kind of hinder you. 'Cause when you're around it a lot, I mean, it just becomes draining, stressful. Sometimes you start frowning and you're like, why am I even frowning? What am I upset about?
Yeah. You find yourself being very, almost in a negative headspace.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You want to play a little bit more GTA, a little bit less, I don't know, Animal Crossing.
Fortnite,
yeah.
Minecraft.
I've never played Animal Crossing either. So.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the closest thing to Animal Crossing is that frog game that we.
Oh, frog? Yeah. Get hit by a bus or something like that.
Yes. I've always wanted there to be like a rated M version of that.
Oh my goodness.
Just
It's like, oh man,
The GTA thing, wasted.
right. So I guess the next portion we're going to get into, really tying into letting things go, holding on to a grudge.
Ooh.
Is it worth it? And how do you get past it?
Okay, so I have an example. Back when I lived in Charlotte, I was an assistant manager at a store, and I wanted to actually come back sooner to Maryland than I have now. It was back in 2018, I believe, and I had applied for some stores up in Frederick,
Right.
as a full manager, and I had an interview with the area manager, and then he was like, great. I had support from another manager that moved from Charlotte up here. Apparently he talked to my area manager at the time, and he was just like, oh yeah, no, Kevin is not ready to be a manager. I wouldn't hire him. And I was like,
Wow.
bro, like the very first store that I took over, me and this other new manager, she went from assistant to manager. We were number one under the area vice president for 2 months in a row, in between North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia.
Wow.
I'm like, how does that not show you that we're ready? I was ready.
Right.
So I held the grudge for the longest time. Every time I saw him, it was very like passive aggressive,
Yeah.
like comments.
Yeah.
So, but then I look back now, or it wasn't until maybe 2 years later that the guy was let go because he actually wasn't a good area manager.
Oh wow.
So then I don't know if it was like I felt bad for him, or if I thought like what goes around comes around. So at that point I was like, I forgive the guy.
Yeah. He got what he had coming to him. I guess I can forgive him.
Exactly. Yep.
Rose a straight up player hater. Oh man, that's crazy. I mean, yeah, for something like that, I haven't had anything like that exactly per se, but I've definitely had things similar where people kind of somebody's put something on me, like a characteristic that wasn't true.
Ooh.
Not that they spread rumors, but it's just like they had an idea of how my work ethic was, but it's like clearly you don't know.
You don't know me.
Everybody, right? You don't know me. What? What?
Catch me outside.
Right? How about that?
Yes.
You out here playing pickleball, and I'm playing foosball. Right. But no, I haven't had anything like that. But I've definitely been in instances where people kind of have a mindset about me, and they talk to others, and it's like, well, that's just inaccurate. And especially for something like that, where you have the actual work for 2 straight months, you're being number one. It's kind of hard to just not be good into that.
Exactly.
Not
How have I not proved it? Yeah.
Right.
I get
And
it.
then especially since he got let go. I mean, maybe it was a case of jealousy. Sometimes that is a case of jealousy. So instead of giving props, to kind of try to tear somebody down.
You could. I had a coworker tell me that maybe he didn't want to lose like a good manager because it made him look good.
Yeah.
So, but then I ended up leaving like 2 months later.
Right.
Because I was like, that's just not fair.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense either. If you don't want to lose me, just tell me that. Like, I'd rather you tell me that you'd
Hey,
rather
like hold on for a little bit.
right.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know.
But which brings us to the next topic that I just said. Forgive and forget.
Forgive and forget.
I forgot him. Who is he?
Yeah. What's his name? What were we talking about?
What is this? K.A.B.S.
Right. Huh? Like the yellow one?
Yeah. No. But do you find it hard? Like, is it hard to forgive? And once you do, is it forget the action or forget the person, or is it both to you?
I think it can be very difficult to forgive. So, and then as far as the second question, well, I guess so. Short story time. So, well, you know this, but my house was broken into before. And this was 2017, 2018. By, we'll just not say the name, but
He got a PlayStation.
yeah, I knew this guy. One of the first people I met when I moved into Montgomery County, like 11 and 10 years old. You could say from Sandbox. Treat him like a brother. My mom always treated him well. His parents treated me well, and that was back in like 06, ish. But yeah, it was like 2017, 2018. I get home from work one day at Rocklands and I had to do a catering event, so it was even longer. Get out, go to work at like 9 in the morning. I get home, it's like near midnight. I noticed right away. I knew it was him because it was very sloppily done. But the fact that he broke into my house and stole things like PlayStation, broken controller in a game without a case for some reason. And my cousin was staying with me for a bit, so he took my cousin's watch. I knew it was him. And for a long time, it took me probably about, I'm not gonna lie, it took me probably about a year to forgive. And I guess, yeah, I held a grudge, but I never interacted with him. From getting my stuff back, never really interacted with him.
Oh, okay.
But to forget, for me, it was forget the action. Well, not even forget the action, forget the person.
Oh, okay.
So now I guess it's more like forget the action, as in it doesn't bother me as much.
It's been years.
Yeah, it's been years. It took a long time. I think I was.
Have you seen him since?
Yeah, a couple times, a few times. Once, I will say, after that happened, he got in trouble. He got arrested for something else.
Oh.
And he came by the house one day. As part of his like parole and like community service was to go out and like in person apologize to anybody that he's wronged. So he showed up in my house one day, and I guess it's a good thing my mom was there, because
Were you ready to?
yeah, I mean, even the night he broke in, the officer came and I told him, I'm giving you the information for him, not to find him, but to keep him safe, because I know where he lives.
Ooh.
And the officer was like, I don't blame you. Yeah, I mean, like, that's a huge violation. But, and a couple times from there, he's asked for help a few times, and
He asked for help.
he asked
Okay.
for help for a few times.
That's
and
the
it's
audacity.
Like,
Yeah.
right. That's what I'm saying. But how I grew up was,
Turn
if
the
you
other cheek.
can, you should. So it's like I was in a position to assist, but now it's been a good while. I haven't seen him, and I told him, I was like, look, this is the last time I'm gonna help you. After like the second time, my mom was like, oh, you should still help him. Da da da. You grew up together. I was like, yeah, but he didn't think about that. So no, forget him.
Yeah.
He's
I'm pretty sure that if he said, hey, like, can I borrow it for like a week or something? Because maybe he wanted to play. I don't know. I don't know what his circumstances was. I mean, knowing you, probably like, all right, like, that's fine.
like something.
Yeah.
Don't just come and
take it. Yeah.
And that, oh man, it just,
I get it.
it's so silly. But to answer your question though, I think it's probably best to forget the action and forget the person. It's pretty hard to forget the action and if the person's still there. So for me, I kind of went the route of forget the person. I don't hate him, but I can't say I don't necessarily wish him the best.
No, I'm just kidding.
I can't definitely say though that I don't necessarily wish him the best. I don't wish bad,
But just not the
but
best.
I just don't wish the best. And it's pretty hard for me to forget
clearly
what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hasn't learned from his mistakes,
No.
obviously.
I mean, as of recent, when we saw each other, he was doing a bit better, got a job and everything, but his family moved away, so it's kind
He's
of
alone.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
tough.
No, my mom, ever since I was little, she would always have that motto, turn the other cheek.
Mm-hmm.
And which I get it to a certain point.
Yeah.
Because to a certain point, you just can't, like, turn the other cheek. I'll tell you something, like, I was ready to go beat up a toddler at my sister's elementary school because she was like, hey, this kid, she came home from school crying because this kid punched her, or kicked her in the stomach.
What are you, like Sparta kicker?
Yeah, Sparta kicked her apparently. And I was like, who is he? What's his name?
Right.
What class or what is it? And my mom was like, no, you need to turn the other cheek. I was like, no.
I'm gonna turn his cheek.
Exactly. Turn
Pause.
his cheek if you're watching this.
Yeah.
Still, I haven't forgotten you.
Now I remember.
Now he remembers.
Yeah. You don't want any of this 120 pounds of fury.
Yes, exactly. But that's,
Yeah.
that was a moment of
For sure. Forgive and forget. Yeah.
forgive and forget.
Which goes into the next portion of our topic. Is revenge worth it?
Ooh.
What do you
Is
think?
it worth it? So, it depends on the level of revenge.
Okay.
To me, it does. It definitely, because I'm trying to think of an example of when I've gotten revenge. No, I can't even think of a time. Do you have a time that you? Or what is
Yeah.
your answer?
So,
That was an evil laugh. Y'all heard that?
in all honesty, it depends.
Okay.
I think it depends. I agree. I think it depends on the level. I think of the circumstances. For me, the first thing that comes to mind is like sports again. Like say football. I mean, or even basketball. You know, he get fouled really hard, probably a little unnecessary. It wasn't really a basketball move. It's like, oh, he kind of hurt me. What? You know, what's the point? You probably want to punch him in the face, but you know, why not just beat him in the game? You know, oh, you tried to hurt me, but I still won. You know, stuff like that. And as far as life, I think it also depends. I know
Also
sometimes people get hurt, and the first thing I want to do is I need to get them back.
I think the closest thing that I had to revenge was also work related at AT&T. Was manager that I'm friends with moved to another team, so this other guy took over. And when we had our first conversation, it was very like, I told him, "Hey, I'm interested in getting promoted.
Yeah.
And what can I do, etc." I always was the guy that sold the most quality, so there was the ability to make either $50 per line for every phone you sold,
Yeah.
or up to 110 per line.
Okay.
I was always 100 to every line I sold.
Yeah.
But there was this guy who would sell maybe not even two times as much, a little bit more, not double, but a little under. But it was just flat like 50s. But he got praised for it because it was just quality over quantity. And so
Quantity over quality.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm dyslexic.
It's okay.
Yeah. Anyways,
Beautiful. I've been doing it wrong the whole time.
told you. No, and so when he started basically grooming him to be that. So I was like, okay, like I see how it is. Like we had our conversation, and the other guy was very shady as well. Like the way his sales were very shady. And I was very honest on all my sales. I never had an escalation.
Yeah.
So that's the first time that or not the first time, but that was a time that I remember I was like, I need to get this guy back. Like
Right.
the manager. I was like, I need to get this guy back. And so I switched teams, but then I did it perfectly. I switched teams right before the iPhone launch. Like I think it was on the iPhone 12. Switch teams, next week comes out. I think I sold like twice as much as the other guy.
Yeah.
And I went back to that territory to be like, yeah. You see?
Yup.
This is what you get.
Got his ass.
Yeah. And it was quality.
Quality and quantity.
Yes.
It's funny you say that. So very similar. I don't know if you remember when I was working for Verizon for a bit. Similar thing. We had to go around and we had different teams. And there was one team they always got praised like at like the day for how many they sold, and because they were doing options that like internet plans at $50, they get paid out for that. But it's because they kept offering free internet. You know, they don't do it now. It's discounted, but you know, at the time where
This is not sponsored by Verizon.
so it's not.
But
But
Verizon, if you're watching, we'll take a sponsorship.
yeah, hey, we're here.
Or AT&T, whichever one. Who's better?
Yeah, who is?
We'll
But
take $1 million.
every time he would go to specific territories where they were a little bit lower income, so they can qualify for the free internet, and he would groom his people that he helped hire and taught and to do that. But anytime you put them somewhere where a little bit more affluent or who also don't want to be paying too much for internet or service, he can perform. So then me and my team, we were like, you know what? Let's show him what's up. We specifically would go to those territories where he would struggle, ball out, get them on instead of the $50, the $100, plans where we can get paid out. And kind of like you said, never any problems. Nothing was escalated. No, we never had to get a call from higher ups to see what's going on. People were adding things on, leaving good reviews. And I think that just comes from being genuine. Like, I'm not trying to trick you into whatever I'm doing. Whatever I believe is what I'm going to offer you. And it's not that I didn't do the free internet stuff. If people really needed it, they needed it. But,
Exactly.
Even they could get really high quality internet for a low rate. And that's what I would help them with.
So that was a gotcha moment.
It was a gotcha. And then when we going up, there was a point, I think it was like a solid 2-3 weeks he didn't get any recognition because they switched things up. They were like, let's put them in these territories. And our numbers didn't go down. Our numbers stayed constant or were going up, even in territories where they were. And so, well, hold on, why do they keep doing this? And, their paychecks I'm pretty sure they're pretty high. Mine is going down. And he was vocal about it. They're like, well,
You suck.
yeah. So I don't know if that's so much revenge as I didn't feel slighted, but kind of in a way, it's like, kind of work revenge. It's
Yeah,
like, you know
kinda work
what?
revenge.
You're getting this. I should be getting that.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
I get it.
Yeah.
No, I did want revenge, but never acted on it back when our 3-letter friend
Yeah.
and that job.
Yeah.
I did. I was planning. I was like, how could I do it? I wanted revenge so bad because I was mad at the moment.
Yeah.
Especially because he stopped talking to me. But then, yeah, never acted on it. So that's the only thing I think about personal revenge.
Gotcha. Sometimes I will say definitely people want revenge in say like romantic relationships where say, oh, you cheated, so I'm gonna cheat back, and it's like, well, it sounds like you should just break up.
Yeah, no. So I've known people
Yeah.
that have been in that circumstance. Well, he cheated on me, so I'm gonna cheat on her. I was like, what? Just
What's the point?
just break up.
Just break up.
Yeah, there's no reason to be together if you guys are thinking about cheating on each other.
Right. Makes no sense. And then even if you do both cheat, you're both going to be thinking of that
moment.
From now on.
Yeah.
You're only gonna be thinking of that. Doesn't make any sense. So
Did she do it to you like this?
right. It's like, I mean,
Pause.
right. Why you think about her? I should be thinking about her.
Exactly. Ooh, Giselle. Who's Giselle?
I mean, Amanda. My name's Kelly. My bad, Catherine. So, but yeah, don't cheat,
Don't cheat.
and don't revenge cheat. But
Yeah.
going into the next part of the segment, I think this is a little bit more interpersonal. Letting go of yourself, and how can this be done?
What do you mean?
I think what I mean by letting go of yourself is allowing yourself to move forward, like letting go of who you were before. Kind of like what that short, video kind of talked about, allowing yourself to step into the future, letting go of the past, or more so who you were before. I know a lot of people who have some drastic changes in life, who they were in middle school, high school, not the same as they are in college or adults, or even previous adult lives, for better or worse, maybe sometimes they go through some really bad things, hit rock bottom, and then come out of that, or vice versa. But yeah, that's what I mean by like letting go of yourself, who you were.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah. I mean, I think it can be done, but from experience, it's hard. It's hard to let go, because I've been really like mad at myself, and I don't know if this is too much TMI, but whatever. You guys, we're building a community. I keep going back to that.
Yeah.
Been mad at myself for like what happened. It wasn't in my control, the fact that I was let go of my last employment. But I beat myself up about it a lot because I was like, man, like what could I have done? Could I have sold more? Could I have, I don't know, talked to the CEO, whatever it was. And it wasn't until recently that I was just like, you know what, this happened for a reason. Like there's a reason why I'm no longer there. And at first, like I said, I was very stressed out, very down, very depressed. And I did, like, now I look back and I'm like, ha, you guys suck.
Yeah.
You guys lost a good one.
Yeah. And now, maybe not trying to put a curse on it, but it seems like a couple opportunities have opened up.
Yes. Yep.
So that's a
And,
very good thing. Yeah. Knock on wood for sure.
And yeah. So what about you?
Honestly, pretty similar. One thing I used to do a lot, I used to beat the hell out of myself. Like if I felt like I failed or couldn't complete a task, I used to go to, I wouldn't say a depression, or maybe like of sorts, where I put myself in a hole and kind of a shell and just like, what could I have done differently, even if it wasn't in my control. And it took a long time for me to get out of that. One big thing that I struggled with, and sometimes do to today, asking for help, like saying help. So I had to let go of that version of me. And like you said, it is very difficult to get to that point. Kind of work related thing. While I wasn't let go, I made the decision to leave a job that was paying pretty decently well. But mentally and physically, it just wasn't. I wasn't able to work out the way I wanted to. Mentally, I was getting drained. I didn't feel like it was working for me, and the bills started piling up. The money was not piling up, and I kind of was like, "Why did I do this? Why would you do that? It doesn't make sense. That's stupid." But now, I'm in a better position, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Like I just feel better, and I think that was necessary for me to kind of do that in order to let go of who I was in the past at that point.
Yeah. No.
Took some time though. It took a few years. All in all, not that I didn't work for that amount of time. It's just to get to where I am now. It took steps.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah. When is a good time to make the decision to let go?
I think that's one to think about. I think
it's more just a natural feeling.
Yeah,
It's
I was gonna say that.
You can't really put a time on it. It's more of a feeling internally that you're gonna be like, you know what? It's just gonna come to you. You're like, I'm okay. I can let go of this. I could forgive, forget, whatever the case is. It's just a natural feeling of almost like a relief,
right?
A weight off your shoulders.
That's very true. I was going to say the same thing.
Okay,
it's a feeling. I don't think that there is a specific time limit. I do think that there's a point at which you should be starting to make that move.
Yeah.
Instead of just holding on to it. But all in all, I don't think there's a time limit of just,
everybody, it's almost like a period of grieving.
Yeah.
Over time, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be from one day to the next.
Yeah.
But you're naturally just going to be like, everything's okay.
No, that's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. A loss is a loss regardless of what it is. I mean, so it's that, and pain, it's hurt. Like maybe mentally we might be able to tell the difference, but I feel like our body probably is going to respond to differently, whatever it is. So I agree with that. Once you get to that point where you kind of think like, okay, maybe things can change, that might be the sign to try to make that decision. I know for myself it was like that. Definitely with going back to work. I was feeling bad. I was feeling stressed. Got to the point where I was waking up dreading going to work. And the thing is, my coworkers were great. Shouts out to my coworkers at the time. I'm not necessarily going to say where I was working at the time, but coworkers were there. They were great.
Strip club.
Damn.
Sorry.
Now they know.
Ah, damn.
Now they know.
Sorry.
It was a magnificent mark. That's what they called it. But
magnificent Tay?
Nah,
that was your
yeah, it was Mark. That was
okay.
Sorry. Fun fact, that's actually what my mom wanted to name me initially.
Mark?
Yeah. My sister's the one who came up with the name Artavius. So
wow.
Yeah. Shouts out to her.
There you go.
Yeah. Mark, first off, that's an insult in California.
Yeah.
So thanks.
Plus, I mean, yeah, you're Caucasian, so
I am. How did you I am part Irish.
Did you guys know?
Did you know? This is just lighting.
Yeah. This is all color grading.
Perpetual blackface.
Oh gosh. Well, I think well, we want to hear from you guys. That's a great way to end this.
How do you feel about my perpetual blackface?
Before we get
Can you forgive me?
Wow. We're about to get canceled. Can you forgive him, please?
Or are you going to hold on to that grudge? But no, on a serious note, though, we want to hear from you. Just like Kevin said, let us know what you guys think. Put in the comments, whatever the case may be.
If you feel comfortable, tell us, give us an example of where you either, are you still holding on to a grudge? What are your thoughts on revenge? Have you forgotten and either the person or the action? Put it in the comments. We want to hear from you. We want to get some feedback. We're like we said, we want to build a community. This is almost like a forum. We can't read, we can't write, so that's why we're recording.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I can speak. That's easy.
That's it.
So, but no, definitely we appreciate you all. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. Otherwise, you all have a good one. Unless Kevin has something else he wants to add.
Nope.
Peace.